waves in my hair, or any space you can find. Glad to see that I could help make your life a bit easier. But have you ever thought of how I felt? You need to think about your behavior.
Oh boy, this is going to be a very weird Sunday edition of Butch On Sports, boys and girls here. Hello everybody, hopefully you had a great weekend. We're doing this game why the Lions are still on the field. It's about 8:18 exactly here on Butch On Sports. And what can I say? You know, this is weird. We're going to talk about the Lions and some other sports news that you can't get enough of on this Sunday on Butch On Sports here. Can we talk about the Detroit Lions first? They're still in action as I'm looking at it right now with about 59 seconds remaining. 27-27 lead on the 5-yard line. If they can get something out of this, boy, oh boy, I'll be a very happy man. But you know what? You know, things do happen. And I tell you right now, this is a goodie here. I'll be talking all night long if I had it my way. But I won't put you through that pain, boys and girls here. I won't do it here. Detroit Lions just really and truly, I've seen some things in a lot of ways, but this is just too much. Detroit Lions, let's start off. Detroit Lions were winning the game and doing a doggone good job for 3 quarters, and all of a sudden, everything broke loose, big time. And if you watch the game in its entirety so far, you would have said maybe some worse things than I'd come out of my mouth. But the Lions are the Lions here, and there's nothing like sending people to the emergency room during the 4th quarter and then some. As hopefully we won't have to say they picked up their old ways again there. There's 30 seconds left on the clock here, and they're on the 25-yard line. They did get a first down, so they're going to have to get a significantly good long pass off as Matthew Stafford just got thrown down on the ground here with the clock running. Oh, well, what can I say? It's nothing really too much I can say here, but this is pitiful. It really is. Let's have let's have at it. This is I rather laugh than cry. Detroit Lions had a significant 17-point to 6, 17-6, going into the 4th quarter. And Arizona just showed their rear end and scored 18 points, but not without the Detroit Lions' help. And I mean, they got some woeful assistance from the Detroit Lions defense, their offense, and yes, the coaching staff of the Detroit Lions. I tell you, it doesn't get any better than that when you just ruin something to a no, not one and get absolutely nothing. Kyler Murray, He got off the can, and he showed flashes throughout the game. But in that fourth quarter, the Cardinals got it together. And again, like I said, without the Lions' help, the offense was showing very dull plays. They wasn't going to the whip. Amendola has been loose in the game several times where they could have got the ball to him and got absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And when I just say more, the Lions have a penalty that showed them delay a game. Oh boy. With 5 seconds left on the clock here. Now, they can run out the clock and get a tie, which would be to their mistaken. But again, if there's any time on the clock and they go off on this is 4th and 24, they have to either run the clock out or basically they're going to set up for a field goal and Arizona's going to win the game. I tell you right now. And the clock has ran out of time, so the Lions officially will get a tie out this game, which shouldn't have been. Now I'll go through the mistakes there. The Lions' offense was very droll through the fourth quarter. The Lions' defense, again, playing prevent. The only thing it prevents you to do is to win. And then, during late in the game, when the Arizona Cardinals don't have any timeouts remaining in the game, Darrell Bevels, the offensive coordinator of Detroit Lions, way far from the head coach, Patricia, calls a timeout. Now, before he called the timeout, it was not noticeable that he did, so the play went for the Detroit Lions. They ended up getting a first down and then some. And they had gotten that, then the clock would have remaining running. But that didn't happen. One of the officials caught Bevels showing the timeout, and there it goes. They run the third down play again with no success at all. The Lions was to punt, and to get the kick blocked. Needless I say more. Murray and staff, Johnson, Fitzgerald, you name them, were making plays. They score a touchdown, making it 22-24 Lions in favor, and then get a 2-point conversion to tie the game. They both scored field goals throughout the overtime period, where Arizona having the ball but didn't get a fourth down or didn't make the necessary yardage to stay in the game. Lions get the ball and they just messing it all up. Final score, boys and girls, 27-27, the Lions tie. And they'll live happily ever after. But this is a game right now that Matt Patricia need to call the troops in and maybe have some thoughts for himself on who's in charge of the joint. Yes, who's in charge? You can't get any better than that. I can't put it no better. Who's in charge? They're going to come home and play a game, I do believe, against the San Diego Chargers. Or no longer the San Diego Chargers, but the Los Angeles Chargers. And boy, if they do it this way at home, it's going to be some sad people walking away from Ford Field. Rivers is not a joke. And where it took a very long time for Murray to get it together, except for that fourth quarter, give the young man a B- today in the game. Because he never gave up hope. He kept on trying. And he got it done. He got it done where he could show some progress. A tie is better than a loss any day of the week. May not get you none in the National Football League if you're going for ramifications of a title or getting a wild card maybe, but again, we'll never know. There's 15 more games to play before all break loose. Again, the Lions, they tied 27-27 when they should have won the game. A lot of confusion there. It needs to get cleaned up. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. This will be a well-talked-about game. Other news in the National Football League is as followed. Nick Foles, he broke his clavicle throwing a touchdown pass. Tyreek Hill of the Kansas City Chiefs, he goes to the hospital after injuring his shoulder, his sternum, in a victory for the Chiefs, of course. Offensive tackle Greg Robinson got ejected for kicking a Titan defender in the head. Cleveland was close in that game, 10-6, and as soon as he kicked the guy in the head, Cleveland's life went down the hill after that. They did lose. Jacksonville Jaguars linebacker Miles Jacks was ejected in the first half of the team's opening throwing a punch, and then had to be restrained to go all the way to the locker room. Let me go, let me go. He was a joke. But he got ejected. A lot of stuff. Antonio Brown. He got out of town by sundown with the Raiders. I mean, he played it to a tilt until they released him, and they did. So, and it seemed like an hour, maybe 15 minutes later, you got news that Antonio Brown has signed with the New England Patriots. Of course, the Patriots wanted to get Brown from the Steelers, but they refused to trade him. They didn't want somebody in the same division, Eastern Division, and going against them. Good move, of course. New England was going to give him a first-round draft pick. The Steelers, that is. But they refused to do the job. But suspicions grew that they collaborated a good scheme. We're talking about Brown and his agents and friends, foes, that he can get released by the Raiders. And boy, oh boy, we know the Patriots are good for deception. And some underhanded things at that best, too. We know they're capable. It's a well-organized machine, the New England Patriots. Many think that they kind of orchestrated Brown to go nutty marvelous, so they, if he get released, which Brown had the option to go to any team he wanted to. That's according to his agent. Made a sideline deal with the New England Patriots and got signed very quickly. Of course, the league is looking at that, I'm quite sure. And it's going to be argued because now Brown is not a member of the team as it is. That is not official. So Brown can't be on the sidelines. He might can buy a ticket to watch the game, but I'm quite sure that's not going to be his thing. He'll be using Twitter and whatever it may be accordingly to get his doggone his sentence revealed. Many think that New England, Brown, and agent collaborated the scheme to get him released, and it worked out, and New England picked him up like a hog picked up slop. We'll keep on that story as days go past. The Detroit Tigers become the first major league team to reach 100 losses in the season. No, it's not marked a record here. They lose to the Oakland A's by a score of 3-1 on Sunday. today. They're going to enter a series with the New York Yankees, which are doing very, very well in deal, and will be in town for 3 days. I don't know how many people will show up, but they're going to be in town for 3 days. For the last 3 years, before this year, Detroit has lost 98, 98, and 99 games the last 3 seasons. This season, they'll wind up the worst team since 2003, when that team in 2003 lost 119 games. Of course, they reached that 100 mark, I'm talking about the 2003 team, August the 30th. So give and take some days here, they're done. Congratulations, Detroit Tigers, for losing so many games. Boy, oh boy, God bless you. Let's move on here. On September the 14th at 6:30, the first night game at Titan Field. The Detroit Titans, as Detroit, University of Detroit Mercy College, or university, they're going to play Milwaukee in a night game on their soccer field over there on Illinois, a little bit past McNichols, or before McNichols, during on that field that they play soccer on. Lights are set up and every doggone thing, and they're going to do just fine. And I kind of think, Detroit's trying to get a soccer team in place in the city of Detroit. And I mentioned a couple places right now that, if the owners did some work, could have been a godsend. That's another place that can play soccer at. It's the University of Detroit Mercy. But I mentioned also Hamtramck, where they also has a minor league soccer team playing there, and as many as 25,000 people show up there at that particular stadium. With some renovations and some fix-me-ups, and you get the stadium to hold maybe 35 to 40,000 people. Maybe 30,000 would be nice, and fix it up to a major league type of standard. They could have a soccer team right there with a permanent home and all the fixings. But again, you'll have to wait, boys and girls. By the way, soccer is getting great mileage in the city of Detroit lately here. In the suburban areas where I'm at in the downriver, it is teams are running very well, all kind of great camps and children's pick-me-up training. Kids are catching on this game very well. Over there in Detroit, Clark Park area there, always good with great soccer players coming out of that area. Hamtramck, as well as in Oakland County. So, the talent base of fixing up soccer in the United States is getting better and better. We seem to not have a good men's coach, although the women's soccer is absolutely fantastic. And you see the results with the United States team. So, don't lose hope. Things will get better before they get worse. Finally, and this is some sad news indeed, Mona Williams, I should say, she's reportedly to be the sister of Los Angeles Clippers star Kawhi Leonard, has been arrested and charged with robbery and murder of an elderly woman. Williams and a young lady named Candace Townsend were accused of following a 84-year-old lady into a casino bathroom on August the 31st, fractured her skull, and stealing a purse which contained anywhere between $800 and $1,200. Williams and Townsend were arrested on September the 3rd, and the young lady, 84 years old, died from her injuries on September the 4th. They have not yet gotten hold to Leonard. However, a family member close to the source does confirm that Williams is the sister of Quiley Leonard. Again, no one has talked to Leonard yet in regards to this particular story, or have not been getting in touch with him. So we'll just say, hey, we'll wait. A lot of talk this weekend, going over this particular Butch On Sports, is going to be on the Detroit Lions. And believe it or not, it ain't going to be all that good. It's going to be the same Lions as usual. They get something and they messing it up. I was going to say some other choice words, but I'm glad my tongue caught my mouth. But you'll hear about it tomorrow night. I'll be on at 6:40 on The Game. Sault Ste. Marie's finest show on ESPN 1400 with Scott Nason, Dave McKay, E.J. Russell, and a host of thousands if you listen to the game beforehand. And yes, we have talked about the particulars on about the being able to hear the game or the show in other areas in Michigan. That's being looked into, and we'll get you further news on that on Wednesday. Butch On Sports is a presentation of my darling Productions. You can catch Butch On Sports on, yes, the Facebook page, Butch On Sports. Yes, also type in simplyButchToo.podomatic.com. Also on that site as well. You can catch it on the game show, sportshow.podbean.com for Butch On Sports. Again, you'll love it. And also iTunes, of course, boys and girls. You can get it on the Apple iTunes tool. I'm out of breath. I'm just in shock about the Lions today, just as you will if you watch the game. Don't need to say too much more about it, but hey, let's hope for the best, boys and girls. They'll be at home next Sunday. Again, have a great week upcoming, and listen to me tomorrow on The Game on 1400 ESPN in Sault Ste. Marie. Go to their site. Hopefully you can get to hear it in Southeast Michigan and beyond. So hey, I'm gone. Have a great beginning of the week, okay? All righty now.